Today is July 15th, 2023. What is trading, by the way? What is trading? Trading, what is trading? What is trading? What is trading? What is trading? Um anything anything in life is anything in life has value. Anything, even a rock has value. Okay, I heard of I've heard of I've heard of this guy who gave a lucky stone to these people in Africa, and apparently um, this 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 person in Africa had a child who was sick, and this person in America sent a rock, and supposedly the rock is supposed to be good luck. It's a good rock, good luck rock. And so a while later, this person in Africa sent a letter to this person in America, thanking him for sending a rock that saved his son's life. Then the person asked him, "Hey, could you send more rocks?" And a while later, so the person in America went to the riverbed, picked up some nice shiny rocks, and sent it to this person in Africa. And then a little while later, the person in Africa sent a response saying that, "Hey, thank you for those rocks. We've been selling them, and we're making money off of it. Could you send us some more rocks?" So everything has a value. Even rocks has value, right? If I'm building a foundation in a see, I know everyone knows this, but I'm just saying it to myself. So everybody knows that rocks have value. So what that means is um, when I make a trade, when I make a trade, when I make a trade for something, I believe in a future date that I will have a greater value to exchange for in order for me to cash out. So I have something that has value. And when that thing has a value, it's like Warren Buffett's ideals of buying a furniture company, knowing that at the moment of that point there is an unrealized value of the company based on the future date. So he talks about this principle called one bird in the hand and two birds in the bush. Okay, which one is more? Which one is worth more? Okay, one bird in the hand or two birds in the bush. He talks about this, and this is something that I never thought, because I'm just like clicking away, clicking, and clicking, trying to figure out, trying to like get this morphine drip, the morphine that's created from the brain that brings out this Mr. Beast. Okay, the Beast. I should change my YouTube channel to the Beast. So this beast is there to be drawn out to essentially erase everything that I have saved up. So the basic foundation of trading, the premise that I didn't realize when I was making those trades, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna make some money here. Oh look, I almost made $5,000 today. Okay. And then I realized after trading, it just went. Okay. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, I made $30 today, right? Have become modest. So now the ideal of what trading is is trading is something that I have never really thought about much at all. I'm thinking, okay, I put money in, I get money out. Okay, I put more money in, I get more money out. That was the thinking that I had. The concept of truly understand the ideals of truly understanding what trading really is never crossed my mind until today. After having like during the I'm a very old guy. I mean, I started my a long-term career, long-term job. Um, the longest job that I ever had in Arizona for a company called Microchip. I worked there for about 6.5 years. I've endured um, divorce. Wow. In 2002, and I worked till 2006. That was, I have no idea how I was able to endure 4 years of divorce. Wow. I just went ahead and did it. So I'm there, and trading is about uh, I never really thought about what trading it really is. Okay, even in business. See, this is like people professionals talk about what I have to consider trading as a business. It's a business. Okay, I'm there to make money. I I put in something, hard work, and extract something out with a greater value. That's what it is. That's what business people do. Like Grant Cardone with that Pueblo, this hotel, whatever that name is. Apparently, he was going to raise the rent such that he'll be making roughly $6 million on that transaction alone. So the episode would have been like he would have essentially made that transaction, and the episode, instead of being 90 days, he would have just taken care of it within 10 days. So idea like Mr. Buffett is, and with all these billionaires, the first undercover billionaire, Glenn Stearns, was there, and he took these worthless tires, but he saw the value. He knew the value of the tires, and he bought it. Okay, that's what day trading is. How else would you make money? Okay, how else would you make money? If I had like options, okay, there's two categories of making money. There's two categories. One to sell and one to buy, okay? When I sell, I'm expecting the value of that particular product to decline so that I can buy it in the future for a lesser value. That's an obligation for me to buy at a later point. And then on the other side, I buy something on the prospects that in the future, uh, the 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 product will be of a higher value. Okay. That is trading. So even the hockey legend Gretzky, right? Um, so he says that he goes to where the hockey puck will be. He goes to where the hockey puck will be. And as long as the hockey player, goes to the place where the hockey puck will be, then I will be in synchronization of where the hockey puck is, and I can get to there at the most efficient manner possible. The value, streamlining the value, just like baseball. Uh, um, Apparently the eye and the perception of the speed can play tricks on you, because when somebody throws a fastball, it has a different trajectory. It has a different trajectory. It's flatter. But when somebody throws a at the same direction, the slow pitch will have a greater drop. And the person who's thinking in his mind of the previous, because the thinking is so, the brain has a slower processing speed when a ball is thrown fast. So the decision process is, it's like soccer, okay? It's like soccer. um, penalty kick, right? Penalty kick is very close. And so the goalie will like anticipate where it's going to be and just jump to that direction. And hopefully the ball will be there, right? So the trajectory is unknown. Okay, so where am I going with this? Um, I have to go where the hockey puck will be. And I have to anticipate what the future value will be. And rounding it back to Mr. Buffett, he asks, I have a bird in my hand. I have two birds in the bush. Now, which one is worth more? Okay, which one is worth more? So this is like a business question. This is like a serious essay on understanding the principle of business. It's understanding the business of day trading. So if I have a bird in the hand, and this bird wilts and self-combusts and deteriorates and becomes none, then possibly, so that's one scenario. Okay, will it produce eggs? Will it be able to sustain myself? Will it be able to provide dividends for my portfolio? Then these two birds is essentially a future date. Okay, this is future. These two birds in the bush is future. So I'm contemplating to the fact that this one bird, will it turn into two birds in the future? And so which one is worth more? Okay, so I have to gauge. So he must be going through like quarterly statements about the company and the business prospects of the future of how things will be and what the impact of dividends will be, and is it inching towards the two birds within the bush? And at a certain period of time, will those two birds be in my right hand? So which one is worth more? So that essentially sums up the reason why I trade. Okay, when I'm like clicking buttons and like taking every penny that I have and dumping it into TD Ameritrade and paying the commission and also the losses that I have, that concept of the business does not appear to me, and I'm subconscious of that, of what's going on now. So this billionaire goes and gets these tires that are essentially worthless. It's like a penny stock, okay? And then he did some research to back up his claim that when he does research, that is worth a certain amount because it fits the needs of somebody who needs it. Somebody needs it based on the requirements of where the market is, where the hockey puck will be, where the two birds are. So he scavenges, he takes it, he makes approximately about $2,000 on a worthless tire that he got for free. So he knew the future value of, so he essentially paid nothing for it except for gas to drive around, which essentially is apparently like a 2,000%, 20,000% gain on that transaction. Okay, so this is essentially, this video is for me. It's not for other people. Will probably look at it and say, "Well, this is just talking about something that's too obvious, too boring." Everybody knows that. I didn't know it. So the reality is, when I make a trade, I buy something on the prospects of that. So when I sell something, I'm expecting the value of something to decline such that in the future, I can buy it for less. When I buy something, I am expecting the price to appreciate in the future so that I can sell it for a profit. That is trading. So when a stock is moving sideways, when a stock is moving sideways, there is an instrument that I would sell that would allow me to make some money on a future date because the time value, I'm writing the time value. Okay, that's one way of making it when the stock is moving sideways. But the way that I would trade is essentially making a transaction when the stock is going up and when the stock is going down. Now, when that happens, there is a process that I need to go through in order for me to realize the gains on my trade, investment. It is essentially an investment. Okay, it's not a trade. Okay, it is a trade, but it is a trade in the hopes of making an investment. Every trade is an investment. Investment in the hopes that it will be at a higher, it'll be at a net positive at the end of the completion of the trade. So when that happens, that means that I have to look at the market. I have to look at it. I have to research. I have to figure out, okay, this is time zero. This is time zero. This is time zero. I have all the information that I need to make a decision on the direction that I will go in time zero. In time zero, I make a decision based on all the information that is out there. Based on all the information that out there, I make based on all the data that out there, I make a decision based on that single point in time. That is the single point in time based on all the information that I have. Then I have to repeat to figure, okay, so then what I have to do is see the efficacies of confluences. This is called confluences. These are the confluences that support a central thinking, the thesis that's involved in trading. This thesis generates the direction. It knows the direction. This, most likely, I will not enter until I have buku bucks. Then when it goes like this, I'll just sell calls or puts, whatever it is. Spreads, I'll just sell spreads or whatever it is. At a certain time period, when it does this, at the end of this period, I make more money. That I will leave to the side for now. So the reality is now I have these confluences. That's why SMB Capital. I like SMB Capital. The way that they're thinking is when they talk about their culture, that's the culture. They have this confluence of supporting ideas that allows them to make the right trades. These confluences generates the grading of trading and leaves the luck out of that trade. If you know something, you become a lot luckier. You have control over your own luck based on the way that the research is done, and that's how it works. So trading is based on a certain reliable. So when people talk about consistency, and on a superficial level, it's like, hey, isn't consistency like making money on a certain period, right? That's what I thought. I thought consistency was, I thought being consistent meant that I have account that keeps moving in a certain direction, okay? It could be totally luck. It could be just total luck. Because like what is that, like 2019 or whenever it was, 2020 I mean, the market was just doing this. And me being consistent, okay, so my account is going up and it looks consistent, but the market was moving up, okay? So it could be totally random event that occurs that allows the account to keep accumulating, but the idea of consistency is really not based. It really is not based on the accrual of the account, but it is the confluences that are used and the trade that is made that sums up the system that is it is the system. It is the system that makes certain things consistent. So one of the consistency is having a confluence that generates a uh, overpowering uh, influence on the behavior of the stock. There is a confluence. There is a confluence. Confluence. So if I were to think of my big head as a thesis, okay, I have a really big head. Why do I know that I have a big head, really big head? I was in LeBois Junior High in Boise, Idaho. When I was in junior high, I joined a football team on ninth grade, and they were trying to find a helmet for me. They found one, but it was like for a lineman helmet, and it barely fit. So I know that I have a huge head. The brain is very small, but the head is huge. I must have a very thick skull. Knock knock. Anyway, so trading is based on, so I have this, my head is the thesis, and I have these confluences that are supporting you know, these portraits that are made in Jesus' time. You have these little halos that comes around like that with lights coming out of it. So so essentially day trading is finding consistent compilation of confluences. Okay? See, I'm a convicted felon, so that makes me a con, I suppose. Okay? Convict, I suppose. Although, and then even if I say that I'm innocent, all convicts say they're innocent too. But I'm truly innocent. Anyway, so that's how it works, okay? So confluences creates consensus of the thesis. And certain confluences have an overwhelming and powerful influence on the direction of the stock. It creates a picture of where the stock will go based on the surrounding complementary confluences that controls the controlling contour of the direction of the market. So then consistency is utilizing these powerful confluences to sum up the thesis that allows me to make the trade. Somebody mentioned that I should be using like swing trading, right? They said I should be swing trading because day trading is just too difficult for me to do. I've been losing for like quite a while, right? Maybe the person is right. So if I were to make swing trading and condense it down into precisely the influence, because the influence is going to be different, okay? Swing trading confluence factors will be different than day trading confluences. On a microscopic intraday scalping is going to be different than the intraday scalping. And then there's going to be like an intraday trading, which is somewhere between swing trading and intraday scalping. Okay, so there's that sweet spot. So it's a spectrum, right, which I mentioned. So essentially, day trading is about finding the criterias that influences that particular behavior within that time period so that it does not influence. I don't use certain confluences that are more impactful in swing trading within the intraday intraday trade, day trading. Because if I use that confluence and heavily rely on that factor to determine the direction of my thesis, then it's going to be misleading. And so what I need to do is being consistent means utilizing the consistent confluence to determine the consistency of the predictability of my thesis. And so what I need to work on are those things that surround the thesis that I have in the direction that I pick in order to make a trade. After all, what is a trade? It's like painting behind me. That painting is actually for sale. Okay? The artist put colors into it and paint on it on a blank canvas that was purchased, the time that he spent for a future value that is written on the corner of that painting that says this painting is this much for a future date. That's where the hockey puck is. I've seen somebody actually buy one or two paintings already. They came by and they bought it. Okay. I wash dishes. I can't afford paintings like that. I've seen the price. I can't afford it. Trading is essentially then on the basic crux of what's going on is like I'm expecting the value of what I have at the end of the transaction, whether I'm selling or buying, that the end net, trading on a net, is a business of making money. Just like that Glenn Stearns guy, that's brilliant. So he also talked about like cars. So he apparently a small sedans that has a hybrid in it are worth more than just regular ICE cars, internal combustion engine cars. So when he can get it for cheaper, he can do that. He can get it for cheaper. So he had this cash on his hand and he was dealing and this camera was rolling and this car was sitting there and the guy says, "Oh yeah, $1,000? That sounds like a good idea. But I have this $700 cash." And he just puts the $700 cash right in front of this person. And the person goes, well, you can have it. Trading, at the crux of it, on a net, is to be positive.